All right, welcome to the Real Talk Football TV Premier League Debate Show. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Even if you don't just subscribe, put the like button on because it gets up in the algorithm and all of that. All right, got Tobias, Shaq. All right, Ten Hag in or out. Season's coming to an end. Looks like Man United are might not even get any sort of European football. Champions League's at the equation. All the upheaval and all Ineos coming in, changing the whole backroom staff, basically sacking everyone. What do they do with Ten Hag? Is he in or out? What would you do?
The changing of the backroom staff was a long time coming. How with the way our transfers have been conducted over the period of even since Fergie left, you can say when Fergie was there, but when Fergie left, since that time, it's been absolutely atrocious from top to bottom. There's been no thought process for it. It's just all been reactive. I always wanted Ten Hag. I believe if he was still at Ajax now, then you wouldn't be going for Slot. You'd be going for Ten Hag. Facts. I always wanted him. He hasn't covered himself in glory in a lot in a lot of the things he's done. Ranić pre-warned him. This club needs open heart surgery. Didn't take the advice. He got sucked in from what these players are prone to do, and give you that one season wonder. They done it the first season. I've said it many a times. If it's the opposite way round, you wouldn't be surprised. If he was finishing this time in his first year, if this was his first year, you wouldn't be surprised. Second year, we can talk about the transfers, but pointless. Obviously, transfers, it was carnage. I think he has to take a lot of ownership on that because De Gea didn't need to go now. De Gea could have went this season. Anthony, how much we paid for him when we did, crazy. That was previously, obviously. Mount, another crazy signing this year. So there's a lot of things you can say, but the other part of it is the Anthony. When I go back to Anthony and Casemiro, that was they were both reactive signings on the way we started the season.
But Ten Hag signings.
There's Ten Hag. You'll say 100% Anthony was Ten Hag signing. I wouldn't necessarily say 100% Casemiro was, even though
You've got no director of football, so it's got to be down to him.
Even though I like Casemiro, so I just thought it was just reactive. We started off chasing De Jong, and then we go for Casemiro. Either here or there is there. So yes, with this new structure in place, you wouldn't say that he's going to have that type of effect on transfers going forward until at least he proves himself, or it's going to be what you guys do or what City do. But I'm in. I always said I'll give him 3 years. Man U fans as a whole, we're stuck. We're still stuck in 15 years ago, because if you look at it since Fergie's left, we haven't been consistently in the Champions League for all but one manager is able to do it once, and that was surprisingly Solskjaer. It's always been a third, a second, a sixth, a third. It's always been up and down like that. Solskjaer got us in consecutively in the Champions League for a while. Then we had the carnage of the Ralph year. Ten Hag comes in. As I said, he didn't take the advice given. He got tricked. He got bamboozled. He's had a lot to deal with during that time. You can say from players to what's happening above, all this uncertainty. But the facts are the facts. He's got us into 3 cup finals in the last 2 years. Champions League football, one of those years. And I'll be more inclined to, when it happens next year, to see how it goes next year, to then make my decision off the back of that, with him having a better structure above him.
Well, personally, I'm Liverpool supporter, so I don't really care. I would say Ten Hag in because I just think. But if I'm taking my Liverpool hat off, to me, he's got to be Ten Hag out. I'm not even going to go by the signings. I'm going to go by his man management style. I think with Ten Hag had the easiest run to be Man United manager of all managers, easier than Ten Hag, than Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, all the managers before Fergie, David Moyes, all before Fergie. Man United realised they're not the team that they were, and they're not the club that they were. They were. So he could have just done it his way. He's come into Man United and tried to do this tough guy school teacher image, and it hasn't worked and it's backfired. He's the Sancho situation where there was no need to bring up the Sancho situation.
No, okay, listen.
Wait. I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak. I didn't say it. Didn't say anything. The Sancho situation. When you lot lost to Arsenal, guaranteed, if you lot would have won, he would not have brought up the Sancho situation. He's not been consistent with all players with the tough guy image. Rashford's done worse. To me, he's done is equally as bad, and he's let it slide. I think he's been too loyal to certain players, and it's been a couple of years now. He's been too loyal, and he's backed them, and they haven't repaid him. So, in my opinion, that he needs to go. I just don't see him getting any better. Not talking about the signings, I just think his man management style. He could have went into Man United and just gradually just got them a little bit better each and every year, and Man United fans would have been happy. I think he's done a complete opposite. I think he's been too loyal to certain players. His man management style has been terrible. Plus, the club hasn't been run properly, but it feels like no one really likes him, which is mad to me, where he had the whole club with the fans in his hands. And he just had to just gradually just build the club. And to me, he's made it decline.
You're saying he's made it decline because of where we finished in his first season and what he done in his first season. The Sancho thing, everyone's on the hype of the Sancho thing. There's more to Sancho, and Sancho's a whole different conversation. But the facts being the facts is, prior to Ten Hag, Sancho wasn't pulling up trees at United. For the time that Sancho's been at United, what has Sancho done?
I understand,
nothing. So let's not be fooled by Sancho having a good game yesterday, and now Sancho is the truth. I believe Sancho is technically the best winger we have, but mind frame, being in England, maybe it's a whole nother conversation we can have about Sancho. But separately, I'm not angry with the fact that he's come in on that image, just because of our team or our squad has been dictated by player power for the longest. Mourinho struggled with it. You know, everyone likes Ole because Ole was just a walkover. And then look how quickly they threw him under the bus. I can't see the same players go for another manager again to then do the same thing next year. And then again, the year after, we're in the same predicament. Like, I'd rather see, first of all, these players be gone. I'm not happy with it. I'm not angry with that approach. You say this school teacher approach, minus the hugs, he does what Klopp does.
No,
what does Klopp do? What does Klopp do with Sacco? If you're not going in the same direction as Klopp, you can say the same about Arteta. Yeah, Arteta had the opportunity to clear out the whole team. Who's still there from when Arteta first came?
Complete opposite, because Ten Hag has not been consistent. He's not been consistent with every player. Like it's not irrespective. He's not been consistent. You can't be with one player, tough guy, and then the other guy does exactly the same thing, and you don't put the same work in as the other player. So he hasn't been consistent.
He was very clear about the Sancho thing. He was saying, like, apologize, you can do the thing. I'm not saying that everything that Ten Hag has done is perfect. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that the approach he's taken in areas, there's going to be question marks. He's never be perfect. But he has done the same. Like I just said, Arteta has one player from when he first took over. Arteta took that same approach, that same school teacher approach. Now he has a squad of players that dance to the beat of his drum. You know what I'm saying? The only reason it's highlighted now is because of the deficiencies he had this season. And a lot of the deficiencies he had this season is because he's had the majority of his back four injured for the whole season. How many centre-back partnerships have we had? Regardless of Onana going through his troubles and having a first season to bed in, forget it. Yeah, he's made mistakes. You expected that to happen. The centre half partnerships alone has been crazy. Take away that we haven't had a left back most of the season is another craziness. You lot struggled without your whole defence.
Yeah, but you
Even
can't.
with Klopp.
But
So let's not ignore the facts of what it was. Like, you cannot tell me like that having majority 3 of your best defenders out for the most of the season isn't going to affect you.
yeah, but Tobias, you're contradicting yourself. You've said this before, and you said about when Liverpool had their defenders out. That's what you've got a squad for. And two, you said
No,
about
I'm not.
wait. You said about Liverpool. Basically, the same thing. It's exactly the same thing when I said about reason why Liverpool have maybe come third because they basically got a brand new midfield. But you said no because they're better than what we've got before. So it's basically the same thing.
No.
I've said the
That's
midfield.
not the same.
I've
That's
said the
not the same.
midfield.
You saying the midfield is not the same as having 3 of your best
Exactly the
players
same.
out, because your midfield 3 wasn't your best players in your team.
Yeah, but our
That's
midfield,
totally different.
But
How am I
forget about.
contradicting?
Go on.
So that's not a contradiction. I did say about you lot, yes, when you had the injuries, everyone has injuries, and I stand by that. The fact that everyone has injuries, I'm not disputing that. Everyone has injuries. It's been unfortunate that we've had that injuries to the same, or not unfortunate, because Varane is Varane and Shaw is Shaw. So I don't deny that. Varane, I said before Varane come, he can't stay fit in Spain, so he's not going to stay fit in the Prem. It's impossible. Shaw is Shaw. Shaw is always injured. So there is an argument that these players should have been replaced. I hear that, but that goes back to the other part of the thing. It's the structure. It's the people above making certain decisions from financial decisions. So I don't deny that at all. That's not. So I'm not making excuses for him. But what I'm saying is I can't see how. Or I do see the argument that people are so quick to sack him for style of play, for the reasons I've just said about transfers, etc. But you can't deny the facts that are there. Like, he did get us to third in his first season, irrespective of the troubles. We have had troubles on and off the pitch. Player power has been a problem. We knew that when Rangnick left, we thought we was going to be sitting in mid-table obscurity for a couple of seasons. So for him to be ahead of the curve has been his initial downfall.
But has he been ahead of the curve? Like what you touched on before. I look at no matter what, if you like it or not, I see Ange come in within 6 weeks. Not even from the second he walked in, you see a pattern of play at Tottenham. I see Emery walk in. Second he walks in, you see a pattern of play. Even if you don't like it, you don't believe in the philosophy. I see Ten Hag be there for over 2.5 years now. There is zero pattern of play. I do not know what you are trying to do. It feels like you just got guys in who are very good in transition, and you live off moments. It's literally moments they've seen. It's been like that for a while, and where you expect him to show some sort of pattern of play coming from Ajax, where they showed that they can play, and he said he hasn't got the same type of players, but a top manager still implements a pattern of play until you get the players you want. And we've not seen that at Man United. No, I don't think no Man United fan can tell me and said, yeah, I see what we're trying to do when we're in possession, what we're trying to do when we're out of possession. We don't know if you're a pressing team or you're a counter-attacking team. You do a bit of both. I see Bruno Fernandes from the midfield sprinting to press, and everybody else is sitting back. And that's 2 years, and he hasn't implemented a style of play. Yes, he's got 2 cup finals, won a cup in another cup final, got top 4 first season, but we still don't know what Ten Hag's pattern of play is at Man United. There's no identity at Man United. We don't know. There's no philosophy.
Agreed. I fully agree with that. I have no sort of argument against that. Like, that the least that you can expect from Ten Hag, given that I believe he was a good coach, given the style of play, as you said, at Ajax, that we should at least be playing a brand of football. Fully agree with that. Hence the reason I say that he's not without his faults. I'm not standing here saying that without debate he should stay. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is he has his faults. His faults are there, like clear as day. Is in-game management issue, his pattern of play issue, signings we've touched on issue. Like, he's not without his faults, but I don't believe. I always said initially that I would give him a minimum 3 seasons. That's what I said when he first came in, and I stand by that belief. Am I as confident now as I was when he first come? No, I'm not. I've sat here many a times asking the questions of why am I seeing McTominay in a 10? Like, I'm not disputing that. You know what I'm saying? Watching us infuriates me still now. Like, I'm not saying that I enjoy watching us. I'm not saying that Ten Hag is without his faults. What I'm saying is that I don't see the benefit right now, given that we've changed our structure, given that we maybe have more of a, we don't know what Ineos are going to do yet. They haven't done anything yet. They've made changes at the top, but only time will tell what will happen. So I am willing to give him that chance because I look at it, and more so, I'm willing to give that chance because I look at it and I look at, okay, Klopp's left, okay, like you've got one of the top teams in England at the minute. Who have you replaced him with?
Unknown.
An unknown, yeah. And the other potential targets, again, were unknown quantities at best, wasn't it? Yeah. Then you look at Chelsea's predicament. I'm seeing rumours for them bringing Conte back. Then you look at, before Slot, there was rumours that Mourinho could have been coming. So if you can tell me someone that will slot in at Man United now, today, that is a better fit than Ten Hag, like factually, then I'll bite your hand off with it. So I'm not sitting here saying that I'm ride or die to Ten Hag to the end. He's faultless in everything that he does. I'm fully aware of his faults, and it infuriates me more watching it. Like, how do you play an off-form Rashford and Bruno for as long as you have? Like, and we can touch on the Sancho thing, but factually, Garnacho has done more in a United shirt than Sancho has. So there's pros and cons to it all, but I don't see the benefit of us now starting again. Like, if we're saying that he's going to be a head coach, and I think that's what he's more suited to be, is a head coach, just coach. Like, that's your main focus. He hasn't proved his coaching ability at United yet. Don't get me wrong, but you're looking at Ajax and how Ajax were, and everyone was lauding after Ajax. If you're telling me them players were doing it by themselves, then fair enough. Then we might as well have just brought the whole Ajax team and be done with it. But the players that are left him after which, like, De Jong's probably the only one out of them all that's been successful. And he hasn't taken the world by storm. But what happened to De Ligt? De Ligt's either or.
Kudus has been good.
Would you be over the moon with Liverpool taking De Ligt right now?
No. All defenders. I think all defenders are the same. I think they're poor. I don't want to digress, but I watched the Bayern. I watched Kim. Kim is like a Japanese or Chinese Harry Maguire. He's so stiff. It looked like I was watching Harry Maguire. So stiff. I was like, that's what people were lauding about last year. Like, every club was after him. So
and we can say Ange. Seems like Ange's a line no one's happy with now. You know, like, everyone's found the weak spot.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like I said,
that will come. But he's not even as playing.
But there's a pattern of play. But it's a pattern of play.
There was a pattern.
Even if you don't like it, but we know what they're about. I just don't know what Man United about.
And I fully agree with it. But as I said, man, I don't see that there's a clear replacement out there for Ten Hag, given the structure above him, given what he has done and haven't done during the time. Then I'm willing to give him the third season. If we're at this point next season and we're anywhere near where we are now, we cannot be 20 to 30 points off top now. Crazy. That's embarrassing. That's just bonkers in itself. If we're anywhere near that point this time next year, or even by Christmas next year, then by all means. But I am willing to give him the 3 years that I set out to give.
100%. All right, guys, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Are you Ten Hag in or Ten Hag out? Tobias,
hold on. What was the votes? Because you put it up. What did the vote?
It was about 70 70-30 out. you're the 30%. I think you're the one. You're literally the 30%.
It's all
because...
funky Liverpool fans doing it anyway.
Tobias, last word.
Ten Hag in, man.
Yeah,
We're here.
we hope
We're
he
here,
signs a new deal. Sign that deal, mate. Sign that deal. We are Real Talk Football TV. We are out.